Okay, we're here with Scott Raney with Redpoint Ventures at the Mobilize Conference. Scott, about a year ago you told me you guys were looking to invest in mobile apps companies that went around the carrier's deck, that distributed on the web. Now that's the new model. Everybody from Steve Jobs is talking about it. Google Android is coming out with the same model. Now what's next? What kind of companies are you looking at in terms of mobile investment opportunities?
Sure. Yeah, I mean, this is a very, very exciting time. I think what's most exciting about where we are is the fact that not only are we going off deck and that users have the ability to kind of identify those applications they want in open environments like App Store and what Google will be rolling out in, but maybe more importantly is just the fact that we're bringing thousands and thousands of developers into this space. And I think what we're seeing is this kind of unleashing of creativity that we've never seen in mobile, and it's pretty remarkable. So I think that our mission at Redpoint, and the way that we're looking at this, is to help make those developers successful. We're trying to build the tools the technologies and the solutions they need to actually build very real businesses and to make a lot of money. Because if we can do that, and we can help them make money, they're going to be, we're going to see more and more innovation in this space, and we're going to see a very healthy ecosystem. So that's one of the things that we're absolutely focused on. We're also clearly interested in those guys that are developing these platforms today. So not only providing them the picks and shovels, but there are people making real money in these platforms, and so we're actively looking for developers in these platforms that are building very unique and interesting applications that are monetizing really well. The challenge there obviously is that even with the numbers being what they are still kind of relatively small from the standpoint of the amount of revenue that's being generated on a per application or per developer basis. So we have to figure out models that we can work with these developers to add some leverage in their business to ultimately be able to scale to really interesting revenue levels. So that's kind of what we're all about right now.
Now what about the iPhone? How has that changed things for mobile investors?
Yeah, I think the iPhone, I mean, there's a couple of things that are pretty remarkable about it. One is obviously the user interface, which is I think the most amazing thing about that is the level of engagement we see in these applications. So a given application that runs on the iPhone that runs on a regular mobile phone, it's being used 50 times more on the iPhone. So I think that presents a lot of really interesting opportunities. It also, obviously, it demonstrates that consumers love this platform, and that's one of the reasons why developers are flocking to it. It also means that we can think about monetization not only in terms of downloads, but we can also start to think about these guys as media businesses. People are highly engaged, they're spending a lot of time on this. Can we throw advertising into these applications and build real media businesses in the mobile space? And given the unique characteristics of the iPhone in terms of the user interface and the wonderful screen, advertisers are absolutely enamored by this platform, and so the money is real. I think there are real challenges though with the iPhone that we see. I mean, there's two big issues for us. One is the fact that today it is by the end of the year there are estimates that there'll be 25 million devices out there worldwide. That's an impressive number, but it's not it's still a drop in the bucket when it comes to mobile overall. And so the issue is folks that are focused on iPhone alone, we are very concerned about their ability to build the kind of businesses that we can think transform the mobile landscape. So we're looking for folks that not only are developing on the iPhone, but will develop on other platforms as well. Like the Android.
That's what I was going to ask about, how the Android might impact that and change it. And do you think that there are models other than advertising for some of these?
Well, downloads is one, obviously, within the App Store. And what's really interesting about what we're seeing around the phenomena of the App Store is Google will be launching an application store. T-Mobile launched an open application store. I think all those are really interesting developments, and we're seeing this push towards openness on the application side, which basically allows, it just kind of rewards the best applications instead of requiring you to build relationships with somebody that controls that real estate. Now, if you have a great application and people download it, other people will know about it. In terms of the Android, I think we're obviously really excited about what those guys are doing. We know those guys quite well. We think that the Dream device that we're going to be seeing is a spectacular device. It's really a great device. It's not the leap forward that the iPhone was relative to the mobile space, and I think there'll be a lot of people who look at it and say, it's really, it's not quite as differentiated as the iPhone was, and so there's going to be a real issue and challenge with T-Mobile marketing that device. But I do think it will be successful. I think so the challenge today is it's a relatively small footprint, and for developers also, there are a lot of people that are sitting on the sidelines here. They're very intrigued, but they're waiting to see the numbers, but they also want to understand how this ecosystem will evolve. The Android, unlike the iPhone software stack, the Android is an OS up through up through the application layer, but it still sits on top of the firmware and the hardware that's being developed by their hardware partners. And the challenge there is, as an application developer, will I have a consistent experience from device to device? And Android is absolutely committed to making sure that what happened in the J2ME space with all the device fragmentation doesn't happen here. But it's clear that there will probably be some level of customization required on the device to device, which is obviously a headache for developers. I don't think it's going to be anywhere near what we saw in the Java space. So, in terms of challenges to developers, I think that they're probably going to be minor, but it's kind of wait and see. And I think everyone is really interested in seeing how that will shake out.
Okay, Scott Raney, Redpoint Ventures. Thanks a bunch.
Thanks.